I'm so glad you could join me here today again. Today we're gonna do a nice little interesting. Oh, it's more back to square one, but today we're gonna do a nice, good old painting. So, while I explain to you what I've done, let me run the colors across the screen. Now you will need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got over here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I have it on portrait mode. So the 20 inches are facing this way. And I got black gesso and I started messing around, making some mountain figures. Then I put this. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Then I put some bushes and more bushes over here. And I thought we could get started with today's painting. Uh, I thought, what can we do today? No, that's more of a struggle than how to paint it. So let's go into phthalo blue, as you can see here. And I want to get a crazy sky today, so little alizarin crimson. Let's come up here. Let us just dance and play around with color. And just move the brush strokes up, then side to side. Maybe it's like a stormy day that day. The storm's gonna arrive soon. You gotta clear out whoever's hiking on those mountains. But now you're gonna be stuck up there on a stormy night. Let me put in a bit more blue. Just something here and there to sort of make it stormy, but give it a bit life and a bit of color. Now, let's go into that same brush. Some phthalo blue. Tap it into your bristles. Both sides. Let's come up here. Let's put in some water. Go all the way. And as you work up, do less and less pressure. And as you work to the bottom, put more pressure. So it looks like it gets lighter on the way up. Now, well, you know what? Let's add a bit more color. Like so. Good. Now, let's put in a big old cloud. With my filbert brush, I'm gonna load my brush into some, oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna load my brush into some titanium white. Let's come up here. And just going in circular motions. Sort of just scribbling on a few here and there. Same dirty brush that I used for the water and the sky. Just the corner of the brush to blend out that cloud. Lift upward, go across. Now, let me add another cloud in there. Let's put in this big old cloud, advising everywhere else that the storm is coming. Okay, now same old brush, corner of the brush, and you just want to blend out the base of the cloud. You don't want to blend out that nice top. that the cloud has and go across. Just like that, you have two nice simple clouds. Now, let's come up here. Let's grab a palette knife. Let me try to find the clean palette knife because for some reason, most of my palette knives are dirty. I use them and I don't clean them. Great. Let me grab a napkin and clean off one of my palette knives. Okay, let's do a regular snow mountain. I think nice snowy mountain would look good. So titanium white, lay it out as flat as you can get it. Cut a roll of paint. As you can see here, let's come up here. Let's decide just where our highlights going, where the light hits. And I think the light hits around here. So this is the reason why. And also because people who are right-handed, it's easier for people like us, right-handed people, to be able to just highlight on the right side rather than the left side. But isn't that simple? With some gesso underneath and no medium under whatsoever, you can do this nice little trick. Okay, now over here, I want some white, but I'm gonna get a little bit of black. Just dull it down, gray it down. Light gray. Let's come up here. Just a few little indications. This is a distant mountain. I don't want to see much of it. Let's grab a clean old 2-inch brush. Let's come up here. Mist. I want to mist pretty much everything here. Now, since we have all this going on, I don't like that. So what I can do is grab a napkin or a shop towel and kind of scrub it off. Okay. Now let me dip the shop towel in some water. Here we go. And it acts like a wipe. Now, let's still come up here and mist some of it. And let's go ahead, come up here and add in our nice shadows. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to that gray. Just a little bit of blue. Okay, and just lightly. Now I think we messed that mountain up, don't you think? So let me try to find a wipe or something that I can use in order to fix that. So give me 1 second as I grab a wipe. You see, I'm not as ready or as prepared as one might think I am. Right here, Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay? And just pull in a few. Pull on some few. Tap. You want to create that misty look. Okay? Let me grab my palette. I left it over here to the side. Now, let's come up here. Some ivory black. Some blue. More ivory black though. Just like so. I just want some shadows living in there. And lightly tap out to create mist and just go around. And you see it creates that nice misty look. You can go up little by little. Don't do what I did and I went up right away. That almost ruined my painting. Now, same thing over here. You gotta create mist. The misty area is what separates everything. See, I used to think I could get away without creating mist, or it doesn't look the same or whatever. Trust me, the mist is your friend. You see that? It creates the look almost of like pollution. Now, if I wanted to, which I do, I'd go into some titanium white with the corner of the brush. Picked up some white. I picked up a bit too much white, so I had to put it back on my palette. And just, there we go. Pollution. When people ask, what is it? And they tell you, what is that? Tell them, you guys creating pollution. The main cause of pollution is people. So, it's not a lie. It would be rude if it was a lie, but it's the sad truth. People are the main cause of pollution. Okay, let's come up here. Let us connect these two. And then need some shadow. And go back and blend it again. You gotta repeat the steps. And all the white underneath, we can't even see the gesso there anymore. Now, let's go into some cadmium yellow and not midnight black, ivory black. And just tap it into our 2-inch to create a green color. Now let's come up here and just tap in some grass. Just load up your brush. I have a mess going on my palette right now. Towards here it's clean, here it's all messy. But it's okay. That's part of painting. Now, let's pull down some reflections. Just touch, pull. Since we have that medium, we can just pull. The reason why on some videos I didn't use medium, I didn't use Bob Ross mediums, was because I had run out, and I'd simply ran out, and by the time they got here, I got so used to using alternatives, and then finally I decided to open one up. Okay, we got some mist going on there, but I'm not completely satisfied with that. So I'm gonna go into some ivory black with the fan brush, maybe a little cadmium yellow, and I want some distant trees. If one side of the brush dries out from paint or has no more paint, flip the other side and use the other side. That's why there's two sides to a brush. You know what? I think it starts to stop right there. Now, let me grab a 2-inch brush, lift up, just gentle, just to get that indication of sharpened trees or whatever, just to make the look sharpen. Okay, now let's come up here to the canvas. To my palette first. Some Van Dyke brown. And just few indications of dirt. Now, dark sienna, and add some white into it. Pure dark sienna and white. Let's come up here. Gentle. You don't want to overdo this. Okay. Let me fix up some of that. I don't really like having straight lines when it comes to like dirt and all that, or in general landscape paintings. The only time I really have a straight line is when I do water lines, and because you kind of have to. Okay, I think that's good. Now, let's go ahead. Let's grab some ivory black and cadmium yellow. Load your brush up one side. Pull it through one direction. Now curve that side of the brush. Let's come up here. Tap it. I have that gesso underneath, just to tap it and get it over with. Now, think about each individual bush. Might sound a bit weird, but think of it and just plop it in. Let's come up here, right around there. Now, I left that one to make a little firecracker. But first, some grass and reflections. Let me pull that across. First, I'm going to Van Dyke Brown. And some dark sienna and white. Very lightly. Very, very lightly. Now, let's come up here. Fix that up a bit. And let's add a firecracker, as I said. Bright red. Ooh. Just a few here and there. I say bright red because I'm used to using Bob Ross paints, but in reality it's cadmium red light, I believe, but both serve the same purpose. I don't see no difference. Now let's put in some evergreen trees. Let's come up here, maybe right there. Shoo. I'm using a number 6 fan brush. Just tap it with the corner of your brush. Let's add another tree. How about that? Shoot, that tree will get lonely, and that's the last thing we want. Nothing should be lonely. Everything should have good old companion, good old friend, someone or something they could trust. Cadmium yellow, that same dirty brush. Let's come up here. Just highlight that tree a bit. Just tap and move on. Okay? Now I gotta go back and fix the bushes. I should have done the trees before the bushes, but it's okay. Let me just wipe off that red and go straight into that yellow, cadmium yellow. Okay. Few scratch marks to make it look like sticks, twigs poking out. And you got some trees and some bushes. Now, let's highlight these bushes in front. Curve one side of your brush. And think about the way the bushes would form. Don't just plop it in and say it's done. Think about each individual bush. Okay? Now, a bit more paint. Let me grab some bright red. There I go again, saying bright red when it's cadmium red light or cadmium red hue. One of those. Just a few. Okay. Scratch in a few little sticks twigs. Now, I'm gonna grab some cadmium yellow on my 2-inch. Load up my 2-inch. And just tap it. Tap it to create that look of grass. Okay. A little bit more cadmium yellow just to give a shine off to 1 or 2 spots. When I say 1 or 2, I don't mean it literally. I mean it like trying to say don't overdo it. Now, last thing before I sign off, let's put in more trees. Big ol' tree that stands on its own. Let's do this one facing down as well. Just using the corner of your brush to create the leafy effects. Okay, reload and reuse. Okay, load up your brush and the old clock on the wall. Or, I don't even have an old clock. The old clock on my iPhone is telling me it's around time to wrap things up. No, can't keep you guys here forever, even though I wish I could, to show you guys step by step and not have to worry that you guys feel rushed. I might do an hour special one day. I used my first couple of paintings, they're like an hour long. So I don't know if it's better than these or if it's worse. I would say I paint better now because I mastered the skill of being able to speed up the process. A few little sticks, twigs. You can add a little twig in that tree, a little twig in this tree, that tree, a little bit on these bushes. And I think we could call this painting finished. I really hope you enjoyed this painting, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Repeating myself again. Take care, my friends. Goodbye.